this landlord, because this landlord doesn't want to get involved, I am limited on what I can do.
No, I appreciate
Okay,
that.
so
We've only talked a couple of times. I sent an email, and now I'm hearing a little more. But frankly, I already knew all that because it's typical, right? And get out of Dodge is one thing. I think that's a term for when you're in trouble. This guy is in trouble because he thought he'd make money. Trust me, if he was making money, he would be happy in Dodge. He wouldn't be wanting to go anywhere. And the whole retirement,
getting
divorce,
to his kids or something.
Yeah. It's just all these horrible. And the thought is that laundromats just print money, and it's sad, man. It's a lot of work.
No, it's a lot. It's not true because
right.
So you have a lot of there is pressure for you guys to be environmentally friendly.
Right.
Number one, right. Number two, you have to you got equipment contracts. You got to maintain this stuff, and I'm sure you have one or two maybe part-time employees or full-time. I don't know. You have employees that need to be safe. And occasionally you deal with crazy people, right? I'm sorry, you end up
every day,
right? I mean, cops get involved. No. Look,
right.
If you, I see the videos on the internet. Get a laundromat business, it'd be great. You probably don't. Maybe you do remember. Back in the day, back in the '90s, there was a chain of laundromats called Lucy's Laundromat. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Does it ring a bell? Lucy's?
Yeah.
Okay. I met the guy that started it. The guy was a very high strung, but I met the guy. He had a great, I mean, it sounded to me like, oh, this is great, but a little convenience store inside a laundromat. He invested a lot of money. Well, not just him, but his investors. And they opened up all over the place. And then it just seemed like they imploded. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I didn't, you know more than I do.
Well, here's what happened. His name was Marty. He built the stores.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, Marty.
He put everything together, and then he was into his second retool where it was time to retool the stores, and he just got tired. He didn't want to do it, so he started selling them. And he, like me, ended up owning a bunch of the buildings. And where he owned the buildings, now his family owns the buildings, but he realized that no one would ever run the stores the way that he did. So that's why outwardly all you saw was the Lucy's names would stay on some of them because it was a good brand. But there's really no good brands in laundries. No one cares. The consumer doesn't want to be there. Imagine that. It's a business where they don't want. You love coffee. That's why you go to Starbucks, I guess. But you don't go to a laundromat because you love laundry. You go there because you want to be clean, and you need to be clean, and you don't have a washer dryer at home. There's the break. There's the dichotomy where operators run these places like they're running a prison. We're not. They have a choice. They can go somewhere else. And the whole thing that happened with Marty's stores is he built on it the way that I'm doing now. And I know that even my stores eventually in the rented space will go away. They'll go the way of the dodo if I'm not operating them because someone else will sell them. And when they get sold, you've got this crushing debt of a few $100,000. And like you said, the internet now is full of fake gurus who want to tell you, no matter what, buy a laundry because that's a great business. Well, that's not true. It is a great business as long as you don't buy it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. No. Well, as long as you know how to. Also, too, you want to know. You got to need to You didn't know how to operate it. It's so funny because one thing that struck me about Marty, because I was a young man when I met him. I was pretty young, and he was super passionate.
Yeah.
Like he just was
shot out of a cannon.
So shot. I mean, the way he talked, I mean, I think I met him at one of his first stores, which was was it Koreatown? I can't remember, but I did security. He hired us to do to do patrol security. I would drive around in a car.
Keep the skateboarders out.
Yeah, just keep the employees. You're always telling me I want the employees, feeling like they're safe, and he had mostly like older or middle-aged Hispanic ladies working for him in the middle, and he just was like, look, and it looked clean. I mean, like I saw it. I mean, it was unlike any laundromat that I was used to.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was a game changer. I thought, but I did my college stuff, and I kind of lost track of what was going on in Marty's world. But I didn't see Lucy's Laundromat as much anymore.
Right, because the name, what happens, and that's another funny thing. If I take over a store through a non-hostile takeover, and the sign says Lucy's Laundromat, and it lights up, and it looks nice, even if it's from the 50s, even better. Everything that's old is new again. I'll leave the sign. I'm not so full of myself that I need to have Danny's Laundry on the outside. There are no chains that matter. No one cares. It's not McDonald's. Hey,
yeah,
I'm going to get a horrible hamburger at a decent price. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And in this, no one cares. I could talk to you about this all the live long day. What I would like to do is send you an email again. Okay. And, like you said, I do have two choices. Number one, wait for the poor guy to fail. And I hear you saying that the landlord is the type, I'm the same way with my businesses. I'm not going to get involved. I'm certainly not going to bounce somebody out who's still paying. But you could also email me back and say, hey, we should really get close to something in December of 2027 or whatever it is. I know what that nudge, wink, wink means. Yeah. So I've still got your email. Different one? No. All right, let's get the good one. I've sent you an email there before, right?
There was one time I think you said you emailed me, but I never got it. And then there was another time that you did email me, and then I did get it. And so there was yeah. What happens is if you're using Outlook, it probably auto populates.
Yeah.
And it might have sent it to the wrong.
All right, I've got it.
So, yeah.
I'll take care of it.
All right. Well, listen. Look. I'm a deal maker. I want to make. I like money, so I want to do a deal with you. It's just, at the same time, I don't want to waste your time.
No. Look, it might take me 2 or 3 years to nail down one of these stores, but it's time well spent. And really, what is that time? It's 2 or 3 10-minute phone calls. It's nothing more than that. Yeah. And I have my little spies. I have my whispers. I have folks that are maybe a cute girl that works in the dentist's office, and I give her a tidbit like, hey, don't park your car so close to the laundromat. People are coming and going. They drive jalopies. You walk in here twice a day. Park all the way out there under the trees. Walk 100 yards. You're a fit gal. It's not going to hurt you. And you won't get dings in your car. And then, by the way, call me when you see something goofy going on in the laundromat. And she'll call me a year later and say, they're in there cutting the copper out of the walls. I don't know why. It doesn't look like they're workers that work for the complex. I call you and you say, oh, yeah, no, I don't know what they're doing. Let's get over there and see. Because they can't touch the infrastructure. They've sold the equipment for scrap. And I've seen this before. I've seen operators give the store to homeless people. Hey, send me a check in New York if you can make any money with this. And they're screwing the landlord. Yeah. They're screwing the customer. I swear to you, crazy stuff. I've got stores in 3 states, and I'll never say I've seen it all.
Yeah, no. Look, I know you. Look, I'd love to do a deal with you. I really would.
I know. Good. It'll happen.
I just at the same time, I also, like I said, I want to be respectful and of everybody's time. So, but all right. Well, send me an email. My partner Greg, I'll talk to him as well.
Good.
We interface with the landlord pretty regularly, and in fact, I gotta talk to him about a couple of deals. So
good. All right, I'll fire you off yet another email. Keep me in the loop. Thanks, Dan. All right, later.
Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.
Whoa. All right. He's in the car. He's probably sitting in traffic, right? And just wants to talk. But like he said, he wants to make a deal. Only because we've talked to him more than once, now suddenly he's giving us all the inside baseball. He's telling us what's going on there, what the landlord thinks, right? All of it. So make the long form notes, what was said, the way that it was said. And this is how this starts. This is how you get a laundromat. Whether it's making any money or not doesn't matter. We're not buying it. More and more and more, I'm hearing these landlords and associates say, wow, he even said there's so much fervor on the internet now. Buy a laundromat. It's a joke, man. It's hard to explain, right? It's not a business that you want to buy. Well, then how is it a good business? It's a phenomenal business as long as you don't buy it. He could understand that. Now, you've got two choices: wait for him to fail or go talk to him. Well, the minute that we interject ourselves to the operator, then what?
Then
there's a tremendous value here, especially somebody who knows what they're doing. Someone who knows what they're doing would never want to give him money, and he knows that. He knows that. If you're some schmuck off the street who's taking a copy and paste letter from someone who sold you a $10,000 course, what do you think those letters look like? I just talked to a woman an hour ago in Texas. She said the letters are all exactly the same with a different name on them. Wow. Crazy. What is it, a cult? What do you start thinking, right? If someone sold you a letter to send to a laundromat operator to say, hey, will you finance the operator, right? Will you finance this deal? What a joke. They're not in the business of helping you do business. Not in any way, shape, or form. God forbid they say yes. Oh, I'll sell it to you. I'll take $300,000, but I want $50,000 up front, and you can deal with the landlord. I'm seeing that happen far too often. They take the $50,000 and run away. They owe the landlord $30,000, $40,000, $70,000. You're stuck holding the bag. Not legally. All right, we've got another chance for glory here. And this is a number for our friend Bruce. Let's see what he's doing. Stand by. The never-ending, non-stop messages for Cousin Brucey. Subscribe. Now's where you sub. You punks. You louts. 10 grand, says Bruce doesn't answer. Any takers? You have to shake my hand. You have to write it down. Hand shook. Nope.
Hi, this is Bruce. I'm sorry I missed your call. Please leave your name and a short message.
This is Bruce.
As soon as I can. Thank you.
Hey, Bruce, Danny D'Angelo, I need to talk to you and give you a rent check, bud. Left a few messages. Let me leave yet another one. But this one's different because you're going to call me back. I'm not a broker. I'm not selling anything. I need to talk lease terms with you. My cell phone, that is my direct and the only number you need. Thanks, Bruce. Cousin Brucey. I think you have a very, I don't get into speculation or try to pump people up. I'm not a motivational speaker, but we've got a guy in our corner there and a store that's definitely failing. And he told us point blank, landlord doesn't care. Landlord doesn't care what I do. Landlord doesn't care as long as he's getting a rent check from someone. How do you get that rent rate down? It won't go down until he leaves, right? And you won't be able to take over until he leaves. But this is the way this works. Like he said, oh, I don't want to waste time. It's not a waste of time, not a waste of energy. Not at all. This is the way that we incrementally do it. I appreciate you, bud. I'll let you know if I hear
Right,
back
just,
from Bruce.
Quick question about the. Should I put it again for next week or?
We're not going to call him next week. We're not going to call this guy every week.
Yeah, that's what
I mean, no, you have to see something change there. You have to see,
Yeah.
I mean, if the doors get chained shut and you don't notice it for 3 months, they'll probably lease it to someone else. I believe that Dan wants to lease it to me, i.e. you, but we can't wait around, sit on our hands. You need to keep an eye on it.
Okay.
It's either 6 months go by, because then we say, hey, man, it's been 6 months. Did the guy sell it? Was he able to stick another operator in there? Because we haven't seen a single thing change other than that, right? When you see a banner that says under new management, who cares? Wow, so what? What changed? The secret sauce? The equipment? That's why my banners say under better management. Changes people's hearts and minds, and then the new equipment starts to roll in. When I say my, I mean your banners. All right. I hear from Bruce. I'll text you instantaneously. I'm returning calls all day, every day. Thanks, bud.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye. What did I want to talk to you people about? It has been so much. I spoke to an 84-year-old woman today who told me, among other things, asked me, among other things, did you send me a letter? No, I don't send letters. I don't send letters. Let me guess, you're receiving letters asking, she's an operator and a landlady, right? She owns the building. She owns this fairly nice laundromat that you would think, well, this won't even work. This place isn't ready to fall apart. But at 80-something years old, if that landlord wants to continue to own the dirt and not continue to push a broom, she's got a choice. Hand the place over or sell it. Now, if she sells it for an unreasonable price, she won't be landlady for long because that operator will fail because they need equipment. And that's what I explained. You'll see that coming out in a later edited video. But I'm just incensed because she tells me, she asks me, did you send a letter? No, ma'am. Let me guess, you're getting farming letters about selling the business, and they mention how you're going to be the financier for them, right? Hi, I don't have any money. I want to buy your business, and here are my terms. I said, how many did you get? She said, too many. I said, let me guess, the letter's essentially precisely the same verbatim, but the names are different. She says, yes, exactly. And one of those letters went to her home. One of those letters went to her house. That'll freak you out. It was hand delivered to her house. How many did you respond to, ma'am? 0. You'll see the video. You know me. I do this shit live. Send a letter. Hey, how would you like to walk? You're the operator. How would you like to walk away from your business and I'll buy it from you? What do they have, kids? What do they own? Nothing. They're renters. Hey, I have a business. It's inside of this little U-Haul rental space, right? I open the door every morning and I sell apples. Will you give me $50,000 for my apple stand? Are you nuts? You don't own anything. And then I'm supposed to go in there and say, hey, I want to keep running the apple stand? Can I have another 10 years in this shed? It's so utterly preposterous that it's difficult. If you just tuned in and you don't know who I am, you're thinking, well, this guy hates laundromats. No, love them. Made me a millionaire many, many times over. Love them when they are done properly. Maybe we're talking about, I don't know, oysters. You ever had a bad oyster? You usually don't know till the next day. It's going to ruin you. But oysters well done, properly done, nothing better. All right, we're going to get to your comments. Eric says, hey, Danny. Hello. Hey, Dan the man. John. Yep. Fact, realtors named Bruce never answer. That's true. I think we know who we're talking about. Wade says, evening, Danny. Stuck at the job. Well, that sucks, Wade. Couple more laundromats, you'll be out of there. Tuning in from Dallas. What's up? What up, Marcus? Lee, Danny, it be your phone number that scares people from answering. No, it's not. That's how it was with me in cold water. Dude didn't answer for like 2 calls. Then that 3rd call, he answered. So he did answer. Lee loves it. All right. I'm assuming that Alden Robinson doesn't know who we are or what we do. You consider that you're paying for the infrastructure licensing. So you want me to say, hi, I'm paying for it's not called licensing. So this is how I know that Alden he hasn't seen some guy's silly course that teaches all this stuff. In my 21 plus years experience doing this, the only argument against it is exactly that. That's the only argument against it. That the infrastructure is there. But that infrastructure doesn't belong to the operator. It belongs to the landlord. You understand? People don't know this. If you have a coffee shop and you wish to vacate, you can take your coffee machine, but you can't take the pipe that comes out of the wall that connects to the coffee machine. You can't destroy the restroom in the process. Many times, even the tables, if they're connected to the floor, must remain so that they can lease to the next potential coffee shop owner. Now, national chains and things like that change that. But with a laundromat, half of the payment structure goes into the infrastructure, maybe a third. And what you call licensing, etc., tell us what it is, guys. Environmental impact fees, all right, in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands, depending on where you're located. So, good point, but not a point that we make. You're trying to tell me I should buy one? Did you buy someone's course? Did you give someone $10,000? Is that why you're salty? No, 2 calls. Try calling the same person 20 times. They just don't answer. Nothing to do with the area code. This is true. I love your course, and I can't wait to hire you to help me become a millionaire. Well, let's go. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not here to talk shit either. Casey here. I'm on top of my free store, replacing trim for leak prevention as we speak. Ready for tomorrow. Yes, Casey, we will get on the phone tomorrow. Very true, Noah. They're obviously important and don't have time to speak with us plebes. Yeah, exactly. They're all the same. By the way, you don't know this, guys, but you're both in Canada somewhere. Hey, I'm going to make this one a little short. I appreciate each and every one of you. I do have marching orders for you. I want to talk to you guys. If you've seen the course or not, send me an email, danny@freelaundromat.com. Ask a question, right? If that question is not answered in my silly course, I won't say, I answered that in the course, go get it. Like some turd, because I ain't. I'll answer your question and then say, by the way, I answer that in total with videos in my course. That's a guarantee. I'm not going to be that rude guy that goes on Instagram and says, put laundry in the comments if you want more info, because I don't pay for advertising. Those of you that are here that are the choir are being preached to by me because you've been hurt, learned, or now understand what it takes to do this. There's at least 3 people on here that I can see that have free stores. 4. And among you, I don't know, Dan, how many stores do you have, Dan? So your marching orders, if you haven't seen the course, just email me. If you have seen it and you're still here looking and you're checking this out, hit the button for consultation. Let's get on the phone. My consultations don't end. You get my cell phone number and no time limit. Imagine that. This isn't me selling something. This is me getting you off your ass to do this thing with my help. I got more calls to make. Ciao.